All right, getting ready to take a deep dive into some seriously inspiring advice today. You ready for this?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Okay, so we're diving into the world of Jack Ma.
Ah, Jack Ma. Now we're talking, the founder of Alibaba.
Yeah, Alibaba, that little online store that's kind of taken over the world.
It did more than kind of, to be fair. His story is incredible.
Right, and he's got some pretty strong opinions about success, and he's not afraid to share them. So we've got excerpts from one of his talks, and we're going to unpack them right here.
Sounds good. From what I know, this is going to be good.
Yeah, he doesn't really sugarcoat things. Like this one, he says to be successful, you got to be ready to squeeze 70 years of work into just 18. 70 years in 18.
It's a figure of speech, of course, but I see his point. To achieve extraordinary things, you have to be willing to put in the extraordinary effort.
Totally. You think anyone's told him 18 years is like kind of the minimum these days?
Well, he's definitely talking about maximizing those 18 years. He's all about squeezing every ounce of opportunity out of every single day. He even mentioned in one talk that he spent something like 867 hours on planes in a single year.
867 on planes. I mean, I get antsy just thinking about that much time in the air. That's wild.
Exactly. He's illustrating that success isn't a 9-to-5 kind of deal. It's about a relentless drive, a commitment that goes way beyond the conventional.
Okay, so we've established he's not afraid of hard work, but it's more than just putting in the hours, right? He's also a big believer in, like, leaning into the ideas that make everyone else nervous.
He is. He actually says that if he has an idea and everyone loves it, he throws it in the trash.
He throws it out.
He throws it out. He wants the ideas that challenge the status quo, the ones that make people say, wait, can we actually pull that off?
I love that. Reminds me of, if at first the idea is not absurd, then there is no hope for it. It's about taking risks, thinking differently. That's bold.
Absolutely. It's about challenging assumptions and pushing boundaries. And that ties into his broader point about challenges in general. He doesn't see tough times as setbacks. He sees them as opportunities to learn and grow.
Yeah, he actually says those experiences are more valuable than any formal education.
He's got a point. Think about the lessons you learn from facing a real-world problem, something that pushes you to your limits. You don't get that from a textbook.
Totally. It's like, smooth seas never made a skilled sailor. Right. All right, so we've got the hard work, we've got the bold ideas, the resilience. What else does Jack Ma see as essential on the road to success?
Well, this one really struck me, especially for anyone just starting out. He says finding a good boss is more important than finding a good company.
Really? More than a good company. Now that's interesting.
It is interesting. He's emphasizing the power of mentorship, of having someone who can guide you, challenge you, especially in those early stages of your career. He says those relationships and experiences, they can have a huge impact on your trajectory.
Yeah, having a great mentor can make all the difference. Someone who believes in you, pushes you to grow. He even talks about finding mentors in your 20s and 30s, branching out on your own in your 40s, and then becoming a mentor yourself later on.
He's basically laying out a framework for lifelong learning and growth. Always be learning, always be teaching.
And never stop, right? Because one thing we know about Jack Ma is he's all about perseverance. This guy is all about that never give up attitude, but he has this really cool perspective on complaining.
He does. I love this point. He doesn't see it as negative.
He doesn't.
No. He sees complaining as a signpost.
A signpost, like how?
He says when people complain, that's where the opportunities are.
Ooh, okay, now that is a serious perspective shift. So it's about looking beyond the problem, right? See the complaints, find the opportunity.
Exactly. He's urging us to be problem solvers. Don't just dwell on what's wrong. Look for ways to make it right. Every problem is a potential solution just waiting to be discovered.
Totally. And this all circles back to what we were talking about earlier, right? That resilience, that ability to adapt, to not be afraid of a challenge.
Absolutely. And he actually uses Bill Gates as an example, urging young people not to try and copy someone else's path, but to forge their own.
Be your own Bill Gates. Love it. So it sounds like Jack Ma's definition of success isn't about following a formula. It's about the hustle, the resilience, the learning, the mentoring, and finding those opportunities where other people just see problems.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Yeah.
And what I find truly inspiring is that his message isn't just about individual achievement. It's about encouraging a new generation to be bold, to embrace innovation, to never stop learning, and to use those skills to shape the future.
It's a call to action for sure. So what about you? What qualities make a great mentor? What advice has stuck with you throughout your journey?
That's a great question. and one I think is worth exploring further.
It is. Think about it, everyone, as you continue your own deep dive into the world of Jack Ma.